What is up, everyone? Thanks so much for coming by Crypto Capital Venture. Litecoin. I'm doing a Litecoin video right now. You are watching it. Litecoin price, Litecoin charts, LTC, BTC pair. Some things I think are important to know and will be valuable to know in the coming months ahead. What is up, everyone? Thank you so much for coming by. Hit the like button on your way in. Subscribe if you're not a subscriber and turn those notification bells on. It means a lot to me. I appreciate you for coming by. Real quick, before we jump into the charts, I tweeted this just a little bit ago. Over 800 votes. My next crypto video should be on Bitcoin, Ethereum, Litecoin, Cardano. Look at Litecoin for the win. I know we got a lot of Litecoin people out there, especially on Twitter. Let's jump in. Everybody, this is the weekly. This is Litecoin zoomed out on the weekly. I'm just going to get this out of the way because, number one, I know a lot of you know, some of you may not know, and some of you just, I guess, don't really like me for it. Litecoin Foundation. I was a part of the Litecoin Foundation. I was a volunteer. I was very keen and bullish on Litecoin. It's true. Until around November 2019, I stepped away for, if you're interested, some certain reasons, and not a big deal at all, but I did a video around November 2019. You can check it out if you're really interested. But again, not a big deal. The other thing, and I was very transparent about this, is the fact that Litecoin charts, after Litecoin halving, and even a little bit before Litecoin halving, a little unimpressive in my opinion. And I don't think I really need to explain myself. I'm just a dude out here doing YouTube videos on my crypto journey. And I don't think what I invest in or what I cover on my social media accounts should be something taken personal by anybody. So I hope none of you take it personal, but some comments I get are pretty mean because I'm not in Litecoin anymore and, I haven't been covering it as much. And hopefully that can stop and kind of slow down a little bit because I think that's a little bit ridiculous. Again, I'm just a guy out here sharing my crypto journey, and I'm glad that I kind of pivoted away a little bit for that reason, but also for price reasons. And I want to talk about that a little bit in this video as well. But let's jump in. Let's really look at the technicals of Litecoin right now. Let me get rid of that Litecoin Foundation. Here we go on the weekly. I think the first thing I want to point out here is the macro level. And I love doing this in just any technical analysis. Like, what's going on? What is Litecoin looking at from a technical perspective? I know we did videos so much back here, right, going into the Litecoin halving, and one of the things I just remember talking about so often was the 50-week moving average, this blue line. And after Litecoin halving, the importance of Litecoin just to consolidate around the 50-week moving average. The same thing happened after the last Litecoin halving, 2015. It came down quite a bit after that halving pump, right? That's something we anticipated this time around. But Litecoin consolidated along that 50-week moving average for a while, and it's something we were looking for. Put aside halving, put aside Litecoin even, any cryptocurrency we're charting, we're always seeing what's happening with the 50-week moving average. It's a really good indicator of what cycle is it in. Is it really truly strongly out of the bear market cycle? Is it strongly in a bull market cycle? We get a really good idea of that just by looking at the weekly chart and looking at the 50-week moving average. You can see on the Litecoin chart, it just really hasn't looked great. I don't say that to hurt anybody's feelings. It just hasn't, right? We had this pump going into Litecoin. We talked about even during that pump, a huge consolidation and Litecoin coming back down, and it did. The only thing is it didn't see support around that $60, $70 area. I remember saying I think it would see support. I didn't think it would fall below, and it did. It fell way below. I mean, that first dip below was in the 30s, and then we cruised back up. We tested that 50-week moving average for a second time because we tested it back here in the fall of 2019, but we tested it a second time. And this is interesting to me because I wonder what would have happened if we didn't have this pandemic hit and just the markets just crash, right? That could have been Litecoin's moment to break back above the 50-week moving average and start maybe even consolidating then. And that would have been interesting. That would have been good, but it didn't happen. At the end of the day, we are still trading below the 50-week moving average. That's a very important thing to keep an eye on for Litecoin. Right now, we're talking the $53, $54 area as Litecoin trades around $44. So that's that. I wanted to get that out of the way. Second thing I want to get out of the way, and this is not a bearish video, not saying this is going to happen. I like talking about the downside though because it's important. Is Litecoin in the 20s possible? It's a good question to ask, especially we have this lower trend line down here, the long-term lower trend line. It is possible. And this isn't me saying I think it's going to happen, but it's something to take into account because Bitcoin charts are kind of synergistic with Litecoin charts in a way where if Bitcoin does what we've been talking about in the Bitcoin charts, the possibility of a $6,000 area Bitcoin, that's Bitcoin revisiting the lower trend line of this huge symmetrical triangle right around this 200 moving average on the weekly. Bitcoin's around $6,000. It's like a 30% dip. Guess what? Litecoin's going to be dipping too. And in a scenario like that, Litecoin will be hitting probably this lower trend line, if not right around it on this chart. And that's looking like a 30 to 40% dip for Litecoin if Bitcoin is dipping around 40 or 30%. So just keep that in mind, right? Litecoin might have bottomed, and the charts are looking pretty good. However, there is room, everybody, for one more dip in terms of Bitcoin, Litecoin, and a bunch of cryptocurrencies. So if we zoom out, though, this is what I want to look at. The upside scenario, the upside potential of Litecoin. Litecoin, as of recently, has been looking better to me. And maybe that sounds a little funny, being we just had a 50-week moving average cross below the 200 moving average. But COVID plays with the charts a little bit, and I'm not sure that would have happened if COVID didn't happen, right? But it happened. But even so, I think Litecoin has a strong case for a bounce, especially from where it is now. And you can just see it on these weekly momentum oscillators, the RSI, the slower moving momentum oscillator, not even at 50 right now. So much room for just a huge run on these charts. Stock RSI, same thing. And then the weekly MACD, ton of upside, maybe getting ready to make a move above that zero on the histogram if some type of short-term, mid-term bull run ensues for Litecoin. So on the macro, on the weekly, Litecoin is looking like it's primed and ready for some type of run, right? And it really is dependent upon what does Bitcoin do next as well. But what we're looking for ultimately is just Litecoin to get above that $53, $54 weekly, 50-week moving average. If we go to the daily, we can really kind of get a shorter term look of what Litecoin's doing. Right now, Litecoin, from just my charts, has a target breakout right around $50 or so. So interestingly enough, the $50 area is a 200 moving average on a daily. That is that first area that I'm watching. Can Litecoin make a 10% plus run to that area? More importantly, can it break above? And in a world where Litecoin is breaking above this 200 moving average, right? We are then very close to that 50-week moving average line right around here. So what we'd be looking for is support above $50 for Litecoin if it hits its target up here. So we don't want to see major rejection all the way back down, but we want to see support after the break above $49, $50. And then we want to start seeing higher highs and higher lows above that to ultimately break above $53. And then can we consolidate around $53, $54? That would be great. That would be fine. Litecoin to consolidate even between the 250 moving average on the weekly chart. That's what I'd be looking for. And a consolidation like that would be strong and would be the beginning kind of clue that Litecoin is going to get that 50-week moving average cross back above the 200 moving average. But again, Bitcoin, I think, has a big role to play in what Litecoin does next. Now, I know altcoins are kind of just doing their thing without Bitcoin doing anything, but it seems like Bitcoin, Litecoin, Ethereum, and some other higher cap coins are really kind of tied together right now. They're making their moves together, and then the lower cap cryptocurrencies are doing their thing. So time will tell what Bitcoin and Litecoin do, but that's what Litecoin's looking like. I'm looking at this area. Can Litecoin ultimately, we're asking ourselves a question, can it make that move, right? We're talking a 10% move just to $49, $50 area. And then what happens there? That's what I'll be looking for. That can happen very quick. We could wake up tomorrow and Litecoin could have made that move. So we keep an eye on it and we see. Now, this is the chart that, from a technical level, really it was just eating at me for a while because we know what happened back in 2015, back here on this chart. This is the halving of 2015. Litecoin just did really good. And then what happened against Bitcoin after that? All the way down into Bitcoin halving. And then thereafter, just Litecoin suffered. And I'm charting and I'm doing all of this technical analysis on Litecoin over the last couple of years. And we even saw Litecoin pump prior to the 2019 halving as anticipated. And we also anticipated the huge pullback, right? And it happened. And just week after week, I'm looking at the charts and I'm just like, maybe why am I so overextended on Litecoin maybe when Bitcoin could be a better play at this stage, right? That's something that was going on in my mind. Of course, I've been accumulating Bitcoin, but why on the LTC BTC charts was I not taking a deeper look? And I started mentioning this in some YouTube videos and just talking to you all about that. And I slowly just stopped covering Litecoin as much because of the charts, because of what I was seeing potentially getting ready to happen, into the Bitcoin halving and beyond the Bitcoin halving. And I'm still not convinced that the LTC BTC pair has bottomed as of yet, right? So I have two areas I'm looking at. It's kind of in that 0.004 area, and then it's also in this like 0.003 area. Those are two areas, but I really believe anything in between there, Litecoin's really looking kind of strong on the LTC BTC pair. Would I move Bitcoin into Litecoin at that point? Probably not, everybody. I just want to be completely upfront with you. I'm not moving Bitcoin into Litecoin. That's not happening. Although the LTC BTC pair might be bottoming out, it's just not happening. That's just my perspective. Maybe Litecoin pumps on this after we do bottom out. Maybe it's coming up soon, right? Maybe we come down here, then it pumps. Maybe it's down here, then it pumps. I'm just not messing around with my Bitcoin. But the charts are definitely looking stronger than they were before. The charts are definitely looking stronger than the times when I was just saying, I'm concerned about the charts. I'm not as concerned about the charts anymore. This is getting ready to be kind of a buy the dip scenario, even on the BTC pair, but on the LTC USD pair as well. It's getting to be kind of that last buy the dip scenario, in my opinion. Could cryptocurrencies like all of a sudden just go down? Could cryptocurrencies fail? Like all the negative comments that I sometimes get on my videos and my tweets. Maybe Bitcoin goes to zero. Maybe Litecoin follows. But from a technical analysis perspective, Litecoin is looking way better than it was months and months ago, particularly in this time between Litecoin and Bitcoin halving. So those are my thoughts on Litecoin. I just wanted to be as transparent and upfront with you as possible about kind of my own journey in the charts and watching Litecoin, especially because I know I covered a lot of Litecoin and I know we were kind of on that journey together. But listen, this is an investment. I'm not going to be personally tied and emotionally tied to an investment. It's not going to happen. And we've talked about that even in context to Litecoin over the years. I support the project. I want to see you all succeed. Litecoin's probably going to pump with the rest of the markets. It's probably going to pump greatly. However, I don't think it's going to pump like some other altcoins. And that's just from the charts. I'm pretty convinced of that. I could be wrong. Either way, Litecoin, I think, is going to succeed, the project as well as the technical. So those are my thoughts on Litecoin. I really appreciate all of you coming by. Let me know your thoughts below. And that's it. I will see you all in the next video. If you're here and not a subscriber, hit the subscribe button, like button on the way out. It means a lot to me. Have an awesome rest of your night. God bless.